Hey guys, what's going on? It's Tuesday, June 13th, 2023. Haven't jumped on Facebook Live in over a week, so I wanted to get one out to you guys now. Just kind of general update on different things I'm tracking or working on or looking at. We'll start with the Mike Maloney YouTube channel / website goldsilver.com. Just consuming more of his 10 videos, The Hidden Secrets of Money. Working my way through that series, and just great stuff. Like can't say enough about it. Definitely will be doing more specific drill down / video reviews of each one of those. Hopefully when I can get the time to kind of get around to each one of them. But the last one that I watched, I believe it was episode 7, focused mostly on what Mike was predicting about our system before moving into a hyperinflation or hyperinflationary type scenario, that we would experience deflation, and that deflation would be so threatening to the system, since the system is literally powered by inflation. It literally is the engine of it is inflation. That deflation would represent such a threat to the system that there would be an overreaction to it by the powers that be, powers that run this system, and they would overreact to it so much so that they would create a hyperinflationary scenario. So they would go from from like the very threat of not existing anymore to saying, okay, we have to produce just reams and reams of currency every minute of every day of every week, to try to combat it. And then once you've done that, you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube, so to speak. So you would end up in a situation where then you'd be confronted with hyperinflation. So it was a really great video. I got to be honest with you guys, I am not comfortable with the concept of deflation. Like I think very, very existentially, I understand that a system built on inflation should not experience deflation, or it can go bad. Like I think I generally understand that. But sometimes I do find myself kind of wondering, like, well, why is it bad if there's deflation? Like, why is it bad if we reverse this inflationary pattern? Why is it bad if we soak up some of this currency and things fall in price and, things get cheaper instead of more expensive? It's sort of like there's a seduction to that I haven't been able to totally overcome. So I'll be real frank with you guys. I'm the last person that should explain deflation to anybody, or why it's completely bad, or anything like that. I just kind of generally sort of know that it is the inverse of our current system, and therefore it represents an existential threat, at scale, like at some massive scale, represents an existential threat, to the very system that we've come to know and love. So that was the last Maloney video that I watched. I got 3 more to go. Now, interestingly, episode 8 is the longest one of them all. It's about triple the length of any of the other ones, and it seems to focus mostly on like cryptocurrency and hash graph or something like that. I've read the description, but I haven't watched it yet, and I'm not sure I'm that interested in that. I'm not a real big crypto guy. Maybe I should be, but I'm not. But I will go through it just to stay in order, just to go sequentially through these videos. But I also am starting to really feel like based on the education that I'm getting there, really, in a sense, re-education. There's a lot of stuff I have seen at least once before, but based on that re-education, I'm kind of asking myself, how could I believe in this? How could I flow with this, and then not own any gold? Like not own any gold bars. You know what I mean? And ultimately Maloney's website, goldsilver.com, does just that. I mean, they're a gold silver dealer, where you can buy precious metals from them. and they mark it up as a dealer, and you pay above the whatever the spot price or whatever the per ounce price or whatever. So they make a little bit of money there. But there's a part of me that's just like feeling very deficient. Like how could we not own, some gold bars if there's a chance that at some point in time, in my lifetime or just beyond that, that we run into a situation where gold, the price of gold, the value of gold soaks up all the currency in circulation. Like it represents that value. And when Maloney breaks that down, he has this chart where he shows like how high gold can go. And he's just using historical reference points, like things that have actually happened before in history, where there were 2 points in history where gold soaked up the value of all the currency in existence or in circulation, whatever the parameter was. And it was like 1934 and 1980. Yeah, can't necessarily tell you why it was those 2 years, but those 2 years, gold like fully absorbed all the currency that was in circulation, I believe, at that point. And so it just like for example, like the 1980 example. So we come off the gold standard in 71, right? The gold is like somewhere between like $25 to $35 an ounce, I think, at that point. Economists say, gold is going to be worthless now because we decouple from it. It's not attached to our dollar standard anymore. We just print dollars, and it's as good as gold, and it's fiat, and nobody has to worry. Like of course the dollar is going to be worth something. Of course everybody has faith in the dollar. So gold will now be worthless, right? So those expert economists who predicted that gold would be worthless proceeded to watch gold go from between 25 and 35 an ounce, something like that, to like $800 an ounce between 71 and 80. And so I believe that was that marker point in time in 1980 when gold was, had absorbed the value of all these, all this currency in circulation. So if gold does that again, at some point in time, here in the near future, whatever that means, not owning it is going to feel really dumb. For me, just me personally. Like I'm not saying what anybody else should do or buy or anything like that. I mean, one thing I hate about gold is there's no cash flow. There's no cash is going to be generated by it. It's just going to sit there and maybe appreciate one day. And so that's why I'm not going to buy a lot of it. But I want to buy some of it to put in a little corner of the portfolio and say, okay, I kind of sort of bought into this thing at one point. I didn't totally ignore this. I didn't watch all these videos and believe all this stuff and then not buy any gold. Like, I just have to hedge against that stupidity in my mind, that would be a stupid logical flow for me to go through personally, right? So that's why I think I'm going to do that. But anyway, so the Maloney videos are great. The channel is great. The website is great. And now I'm even thinking about using him as the gold dealer. I got to do a little homework on that. Like, okay, any issues with him dealing gold? Anybody had any problems? I got to look at that second layer of due diligence. But like, just the idea, like, would I buy any gold? Like, I would buy gold. At this point, that's something I definitely feel needs to be addressed. So there's that. The other thing I was just going to update you guys on is a stock portfolio. Waded back into the stock market on 1 June. And like as I shouldn't be doing, I've checked it every day just to see like, okay, like, did this thing plummet the way I expected to? And actually, surprisingly, it's trended up almost every single day. I think I only had one day that closed down. And it looks like 2 of the stocks that I chose have been really interesting. Honda Motor Corporation has really seemed to break out a little bit from where I bought it. Some good news came in on I think their U.S. sales or North American sales, something like that, were very high over a certain time period, and they were announcing something that was going to challenge Tesla. So some really good news came out about Honda since June 1st that has really propelled that. Of course, I bought it for the dividend and the fact that they're a sort of a rock solid manufacturing company, automobiles, whatever else they make. You know what I mean? But like, I really felt good about the business, and I liked the dividend, and now all of a sudden the stock has really kind of taken off a little bit. And also Hewlett Packard, guys. That was an interesting one. Like, I bought that. Within a few days of buying it, I read something about they had so much debt on their balance sheet that they weren't going to be able to clear the debt as quickly as maybe, analysts had hoped for, or something. I was like, oh, okay, that's going to be a dog shit stock. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, okay, that's not going to turn out well. And then ever since I read that news, Hewlett Packard has just gone up and up and up. Like, I think they had like a 2% up day today, or 2.25% up. And I like their dividend yield at 3 or 4%. So anyway, guys, that's just kind of like a general, that's just a very general update. I am not a stock picker. I have no idea where the market's going. I have no idea what the market's going to do next. You should never take any stock advice from me, but I want to be transparent about the activity there, and it's definitely something that I'd sworn off a long time ago and now have re-embraced with a completely different mindset, just buying stocks, reinvesting dividends, only buying stocks that pay a dividend, reinvesting those dividends, just buy and hold into complete boredom. And just buying and buying and buying and buying and buying as long as I possibly can stand it to really build up the number of shares in the portfolio. So and hence grow the dividend and compound it and stuff like that. So anyway, that's where that stands, guys. Just kind of wanted to dump this general update, go over some of the stuff that I really hadn't had a chance to comment on over the last week. And go from there. So hope everybody's having a great Tuesday, and we'll talk here with you guys again soon. Thanks.